This is GARIS, Masculist, MGTOW, Flyers. That is 2 3-page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW. Written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. This is flyer number 175, entitled, Are Women Children or Just Lazy? Description. This flyer disagrees with the opinion of TFM, that is Turd Flinging Monkey, that women are children. As he puts it, quote, women are fuckable children with tits, end quote. If women were children, there would be no point to the masculist political goal of creating a FIP society by forcing women to become FIPs or rot on the shelf. Evidence shows that women can act as responsible adults, but will have to be forced to by men. Now the flyer itself. Are women children or just lazy? I'm becoming increasingly conscious of an ideological/political difference of opinion I have with TFM, Turd Flinging Monkey. TFM thinks that women are children. In his terms, quote, women are fuckable children with tits. I disagree with this, because if women really are children, then the basic strategy of the masculists, namely to force all women to become FIP emos, financially independent persons who have equal moral obligations with men, will be weakened, because what is the point of trying to make adults out of young women if by nature they are children? It would be like trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. The masculists' main political aim is to wipe out fluffydom by wiping out the fluffies, not by killing them, but by totally ignoring them, forcing them to rot on the shelf to extinction. Masculists and MGTOWs won't even sex fluffies, that is, traditional women who expect to be able to parasite off the money of a man, as a form of punishment for being fluffies, that is, immoral, parasitic, manslaving vermin to be wiped out as vermin. So why do I feel women are not children? Before explaining that, I do see that women can behave in annoyingly childlike ways. When I see Jap porn women all come out with the same insipid squeaky moan that their cookie-cutter culture brainwashes into them, it makes me look on Jap gender roles as antediluvian. My own Chinese wife, at times when she tried to be nice to me, will drop into a Jap fluffy squeaky voice that I find sickening. There is a definite childish streak in women's behaviour. They evolved to take care of children, and you don't need nuclear physics knowledge to be able to do that. If anything, instilling higher math in women will probably only be counterproductive when women are looking after ankle-biting toddlers with a vocabulary of 500 words. But there is plenty of evidence that women can behave as responsible adults when they choose to. For example, at high schools, there are an equal number of young women studying math and the sciences as young men. And at universities now, female students are studying STEM field majors at about 3/4 the rate of males. So that is all very encouraging to masculists, who are pushing for the creation of a FIP society, in which all women expect to be FIPs. The human brain is very flexible and capable of learning, of adapting, so that if men and women in general place enormous moral pressure on young women to be FIPs, that will influence them not to be fluffy crappers studying fluffy crap at high school, which will preclude them from studying STEM field majors at college, which in turn will condemn them to becoming fluffies in their 30s when their biological clocks are ticking hard, so that they look around for some manslave to pay for a middle-class house that they can raise their children in. Young men who have not had their masculist/MGTOW consciousness raised are aware that young women now have the pill and are fucking men with the same attitudes as men want to fuck women, and want to take advantage of this situation. This new female attitude since the invention of the pill is so prevalent at universities that one young woman in 4 now has an STD, sexually transmitted disease. Young men are eager to get some vagina, so compete with each other to persuade young women to give them some vagina by giving women gifts, attention, and male time. It's therefore not surprising that young women in their 20s grow up to become real princesses, that is, spoilt brats, who feel the world is their oyster and that all they have to do to get men to give them what these princesses want is to give them a bit of sex from time to time. That is, behave like prostitutes. These women are not stupid. They are arguing that if these sex-hungry men are stupid enough to fall over each other to shower me with attention and gifts, then why not take it? The problem with such 20-something princesses is that they think this period in their lives, when they are at the peak of their sexual attractiveness, will last forever, which of course it doesn't. By the time a woman is 40, she has become invisible to men who look straight through her on the street. Her sexual attractiveness has reduced to near zero. This happens to all women. So, a lot of young women have the short-sighted luxury to think that they can afford to be lazy and not bother to become FIP by studying FIP majors at high school and college. They notice that men give them gifts all the time, so why bother becoming FIPs? In the short term, that is when they're in their 20s, this short-term misguided reasoning does make some sense, so long as they don't think into their next decade, when all that gift giving by men will stop and these princesses lose their sexual attractiveness. Young high school men are too young to have personal experience of seeing women live through their 20s, act as princesses, become fluffy crappers, and then go looking for a manslave in her 30s. Only the more intellectual high school males will confront fluffy crappers and accuse them of being future fluffies and hence manslavers. This will be only an intellectual abstraction to them that may make a lot of sense based on what they read and hear from older men, but it has no personal experiential ring to it because they're too young to know, to know at first hand what the older men are talking about. Nevertheless, the Masculists hope to see men's lib groups set up in every high school and every college so that young men are taught of the toxicity of the divorce courts and hence of marriage. High school males need to put enormous moral pressures on fluffy crappers, accusing them of being fluffy crappers and hence future fluffies, that is, immoral, parasitic, manslaving vermin. As more and more high school males have their consciousness raised regarding men's issues, they will exert ever stronger moral pressure against fluffy crapper women and reject them on moral grounds. You study fluffy crap. You choose to become a fluffy in your 30s. You'll try to manslave a man. You're immoral. I want nothing to do with you. You are vermin to me. I spit on you. I want to live in a FIP society, and you don't belong in it. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de GARIS. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. YouTube channel name de GARIS Masculist MGTOW Flyers. Ciao.